Good afternoon. Let me just get prepared here. Busy morning. I was going to come on Google Maps. Doing the neighborhood. We're being spied on. Busy morning. I was going to come on here this morning, but wasn't able to. So anyways, I figured I'd do an afternoon live, see what everyone's up to. Let me just see here. Yeah, I've been on the hunt for a new PC. So, I mean, like I said, if I have any issues, this thing is like on its last legs. It just wants to die on me. So, hopefully, it doesn't while we're doing this. And I'd like to get a new setup for the season when it starts in September. And hopefully, I will by then. But how is everybody doing? Good afternoon, and in some cases, evening in the UK. To those of you watching and lurking from the UK, what's up? Everybody good? It's been it's been mild the last couple of days. It was really humid for a few days, and then yeah, it's well, today it's getting warm again. So yeah, the AC's got to come back on. And I'm finally getting over this weird cold thingy, whatever the hell it was. I don't know. It just absolutely knocked me flat for a few days to the point where I'm like, wow, I've never had this before. What kind of alien technology is this? It's crazy, man. Like, I mean, my eyes were glued shut. I've never had that. I've never woke up and my eyes have ever been glued shut because of this, craziness. And I still say, I got it while in New York. You have to be wary when you walk the streets of New York, and not because of the stuff that you can see, but the stuff that you do not see. There are so many people in New York, and they're not all from New York. They're from all over the world. So you never know what they're carrying. But that's fine, folks. I have my space raiders, and they've helped. Thankfully, I've been able to find pickled onion. My favorite pickled onion. I know I say that all the time, but it is. It is my favorite. And but anyways, enjoying a day off. I've been really busy, and yeah, finally got it down. Even though I was off for like a week, back to work, I get sick, and I'm flat on my back for literally a couple days. And exactly, Laura, the melting pot of bacteria. Absolutely. I loved New York. I don't get me wrong, I loved it. I thought it was great, but yeah. Yeah. But here we are in the later stages of the summer. Um for some of you that's oh no, it went too fast. You know what? My favorite time of the year is coming. My favorite time of the year, the fall, autumn. And for me, it starts in September. For a lot of people, it starts when they technically, what is it, September 22nd? It's already started, but depends on if it's going to be a warm one. Hopefully, it won't be warm like humid, like crazy. You know, I don't mind. I don't mind if it's warm, if it's mild, respectively. You know, cool at night. Not cold, but cool. And I have all my vacation time saved in the bank for September and October. Because you know what? I love going to places in early October that I know that will get you in the mood, the seasonal mood, the autumn, the mood to be in autumn, the fall, the changing leaves and harvest, small little towns. And you don't really get that here in Canada. In some places, yes, but I find when I trip on over the border into Western New York and New York State, oh my, some of the small towns are just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And they're all in to harvest. And not to mention in Michigan as well. Like there's a small little town in between um where is it? Saginaw and Flint. Oh my God. People are going, oh my God, there's a place in between those two cities. Yes. The place is called Frankenmuth. And I'm telling you, it's a small little town, but it gives you that that sort of traditional historical sort of harvest feel. They have a scarecrow contest that they display in the streets. The streets are decorated for harvest in the fall. The corn stalks on the light lamp posts and pumpkins and haystacks. You name it, they go all out, all out. And not to mention, it's the only American city that I know of, American town, city, whatever, sanctioned outside of Munich for official Oktoberfest. So they have, excuse me, they have an official Oktoberfest there. So it's like little Bavaria. It's like little Bavaria there. you know, and you have, uh, these traditional restaurants there that give you Bavarian delicacy like chicken schnitzel, you name it, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Max, how are you? And, it's just, wow. You drive through Flint and you go, am I going to make it out of here, man? This is crazy. And then no more than maybe what, 25 minutes, not even 30, not even half an hour north. You're like, wow, this is like an oasis in a desert. And just outside the town, they have the world's largest Christmas store. And this thing is like literally, I don't know, 8 football fields in size in total. It's massive. And you can find any Christmas decoration or goodie or whatever if you're into Christmas there. Anything, religious or not, doesn't matter. And they do have tons of Halloween crap as well. So I mean, it's an interesting little place, and they have a red covered bridge, one of the very few left that exist. And they had a place called, well, it's still there. It was called Logger Mill. It's an old mill, and it's very very unique. And for the longest time, it was a beer museum and shop. Of course, now it's gone. I mean, the building is still there, but Logger Mill it's no longer there. It's been taken over by something else. So I don't know what it is now, but in and itself is a landmark. It's a testament to that small little town and the history that town sort of brings, and this oasis, this you know surrounding. Because I mean, I'm not gonna bash Michigan. I mean, but we have to admit, Michigan, Saginaw and Flint aren't, two of the most safest cities. They do have their crime problems. So to have this small little town nestled in between, not exactly, but pretty much off to the side, off to the east, I believe, a little. That is fascinating in itself. But always, always, always good to check out. Yeah, I mean, if you're ever in Michigan, I highly recommend you check out Frankenmuth. It's a great little place, especially in the fall. If you are into the fall. And of course, along with the fall, you get the corn mazes, and especially the corn mazes at night. You have the haunted attractions that go off the rails. Some of them are just like, wow. Uh, Man, these glasses are driving me nuts. But they go off. They spend and spend so much money on the props and everything else. It's just like, wow. Like there's one. I forget the name of it, but literally, you're taken into this place on an old school bus that the top's been cut off, and the only light are 4 torches on the corners of the bus, and you go through this forest at night. Ooh, that's eerie. Very eerie. A dark forest. Where am I going? Am I going to survive? And of course, at the end, you simply um, are okay. What are we approaching upon? And that's your haunted attraction. An old house done up to the nines to scare the crap out of you. Can you make it out of there alive or not? The only way to find out is to go in and do it. So I mean, yeah, there's lots of places like that all over North America, especially in the States. There's several here in Ontario, Southern Ontario. And I think what I enjoy the most. I mean, I've always been a big horror movie fan, but that necessarily isn't the reason why I like The Fall. I've always just loved the experience, the atmospheric, the smell, the the look. Obviously, I mean the ever changing leaves, a sign of decay. But yeah, let me just see. So enough of that. Anyways, I will be tomorrow and Saturday. I will be a part of. I will be a part of a the Spruce Lane Farmhouse ghost walks. They're doing their annual ghost walks, and they always have them in August. I've been trying to talk them into doing it later in the year, but because they're on contract, they're not able to. But so they do theirs at the end of the contract. Hey, myself, how are you? Good to see you. They do it annually, so I mean, if you're in the area, stop on in and pay us a visit at the Spruce Lane Farmhouse for the ghost walks, which are inside the Bronte Provincial Park. If you walk in, admission is free. Unfortunately, when you drive in, you'll have to pay for parking. When we get to watch. I'm a part of it. I'm not actually a part of the ghost walk. I'm there when you walk in and when you finish the ghost walk. So I'm at the beginning and end. And we literally just discuss our research there at the house that we've been researching and investigating the house for man, 15 years now. Wow, 15 years. It's been 15 years this year. 15 years that we've been investigating and researching the house. So all our findings and so on, experiences and blah blah blah, we are played out like EVPs and so on are played for you during the walk. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, we're there to talk and discuss and share experiences within the house. Not to mention other stuff. It's well worth it if you're able to come out. And again, that's Friday, tomorrow night between 7 and 9. I think the last one goes at 9 p.m. And again, Saturday night 7 to 9 p.m. So if you're in the area, pop on in, say hi, and yeah, who knows? Maybe I might have some stickers, some nocturnal frequency radio stickers. I don't have any. I got to get some new cards made too. I got my old ones. It is a lot of fun. I enjoy meeting new people, and there's a lot of people that do attend that have tons of experience, or they've had experiences and they're looking. Well, there you go, Max. Pop on in. You're not far. Pop on in. You know, It is fun. I mean, like I said, I meet a lot of really cool people that come out and uh, and you know, asking questions. The kids, they love it. The kids love it. You know, because some of the kids they've seen the house in a different manner. Because I mean, the house is always the centerpiece when they have their maple syrup festivals and blah blah blah. Right? Or you can go and during this season and take a tour of the house. And literally the tour of the house is just to give you that experience of what it was like to live at the turn of the century when the house was built in 1899. You know, but this is exactly coming because I mean the reason that we were first contacted to come in and investigate the house was because staff had been having experiences there that they wanted explained or somewhat explained. Let's see. I will be just outside the house when you come and park in the park. You just walk up, follow the signage, and there'll be like a little camp. They always have a campfire there, and you literally can come up and we'll be right there. Very historical place. Um, the house and the barns are all still intact. A horse barn, animal barn, cow barn, cow pastures. It's all still very very much intact, which is nice. The park has done a wonderful job over the years keeping it in good shape, and the house is yeah, it's been one of my favorite places to conduct research and investigate over the years. I have to say that, and I have to thank the uh, you know Bronte Provincial Park for allowing us to come in and conduct our research and investigate the location. So this is kind of like hey, thank you. We absolutely would love to support your ghost walks and help out and do whatever we can. So yeah. So let's see. So yeah, I mean that's happening this weekend. In fact, I'm currently working on a a vid for you guys. I'm going to probably post it here on the channel. Actually, I can give you a little sneak peek, I suppose. Let me see if it'll play or not. I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of weird. And some of you, let me just make sure. Okay, here's a little. This is taken outside, and this is Dr. Demon Gourd. I know a lot of you know Dr. Demon Gourd is kind of explaining a little experience he had. Hold on a sec. Let me just share this. And this is going to be a window. Here we go. Here we go. And let's see here. Is there no sound, guys? Was there no sound? Let me know. Anyways, take care, Max. Was there any sound there? I don't know. Let me. Oh, there is sound. I don't know. Anybody in chat watching? Okay, no sound. Okay, let me just. That's kind of weird. Let me just double check that. See what the problem is. Okay. Okay, let me try this. I don't know why that's not. Let me see. You guys can hear me though, right? Let me just see. That is weird. Okay. I don't know why. Let me just check again. You know what? We'll do it this way. We're going to do it this way.
Kids, I finally get to talk. Yay!
Tell me you can hear that now.
So I just had a little bit of an experience. I'm not going to 100% say that it's paranormal, but as I'm trying to go through and debunk it, it's kind of becoming a little bit unexplainable. So we all arrived here at the location, talking to each other. Now the corner of my eye, at the front window on the right-hand side, you might want to get a shot of that. Hey, look at that. Cha-cha-cha. As I'm looking and we're talking, the curtain on the left-hand side, it appeared that a shadow of a head kind of leaned out to look and see what we were doing. And then when it appeared that I saw it, then it started to rear back up to behind the curtain, and a shadow just moved through there again. Literally saw it move that direction, right now.
I was looking, I didn't see anything. I was looking the whole entire time you were telling that story.
And I've looked, and there is nothing that could possibly cast a shadow like that. I have no idea. I don't know if it was maybe the leg of my glasses, my eyes trying to adjust to the light that's in the window compared to the pretty much dark out here. Just kind of weird so far. Maybe they're...
What height was this shadow? In the bottom pane of the window?
Yeah, in the bottom pane. So not above, but the bottom.
So child, not adult, child.
Small person, etc. You know, just like, and it looked like it had long hair, with the shape of just with the shape of the head. I'm not saying I saw hair or anything, but it did look like, someone peeking out and just kind of leaned over to see what we were doing, and then when it saw me looking at it, it went back behind the curtain. Cool little experience. I have no idea. There's nothing to cause a shadow like that. Was it the leg of my glasses? Maybe it was. I have no idea. Just fun so far. Good times.
Excuse me. Yeah, we've spotted a little girl in there a few times. So it was quite interesting when he said he had that experience. Hold on. Yeah, the cha-cha-cha. Hold on a sec. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. It's over here, probably. Where did you go? Where did you go? Okay, now, of course, when I want to find it, I can't find it. Oh, is this it? Hold on. Let's see. The very same. Very same.
Here's a scooter guy. Scooter guy. Scooter guy. He is doing his scooter guy. Yeah, cha-cha.
Hey, Tim, how are you, buddy? How are things going? So, yeah, the very one and only Dr. Demon Gord. So, anyways, I'm working on that. That should be finished sometime next week. The third episode of the Dark Woodlot will be probably going, live next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Most likely, if all goes right, the third episode will be next Thursday at 6:30. Plus, this coming September, the end of September, early October, into October, we are shooting the last 3 episodes of the Dark Woodlot. So we're looking, get it right. Listen, you're in the area, you want to come in, be a part of it. We're looking for volunteers who would like to help out. Yeah. Yeah, well, no, the tire drops are long gone. They're all gone. They cleaned that right up. So, like I said, why I'm saying this is probably the last 3 episodes is because they've been surveying the land, and who knows what's going to happen. Hey, Safari, good to see you, buddy. Who knows what's going to happen with the land? No official proposals gone up yet. Like I said, surveying could take a while before they know exactly what they want to do with the planning. But the way it's looking and the way I look at it now, it is quite potentially a reality that the woodlot could be no longer in existence, because it looks like there are parallel roads on each side of that huge plot of land that they want to link up, because they have the same name. So they knew that there would come a time when the owners of the land would finally give in and sell it, and that's what they've done. And that they would link those 2 roads up through the heart of that plot of land. And unfortunately, they would literally need to clear maybe 1/3 of the woodlot, which is sad. Leave it alone. You don't need to mow it down. You don't need to, just leave it alone. But I mean, looking at the land now, I mean, when the prior owners had it, even though they weren't using the land, they were still farming it. They would rotate between corn 1 year, yield of corn, and then a yield of soya. and it looked beautiful, especially with the corn. I'm not much for soya, but I mean, the corn looked awesome, and it was, like I said, it's just, it's so sad. Let me, just to give you an idea. This is just to give you an idea. Just to give you an idea. No, let me just. I'm going to show you. You guys saw it. You saw it. Where are we? My goodness. Don't tell me I can't find it now. No, where are you? Don't do this. Where is it? Oh, man. It drives me nuts when I can't find what I'm looking for. I love to. Where are you? It's here. It's just a matter of finding it. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Because I have it. It's here. No, that's not it. Well, here, I'll give you some drone footage of it. Here. Hold on. I'll show you the best footage. But I want to. Okay, hold on. Here's some. Like, there's drone footage. And again, you don't really get a good, hey. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll show you some, POV of going through the corn, but this is what I mean. This is just absolutely beautiful. And there's the woodlot itself coming up around the bend. I'll show you. This is the outer part of the woodlot. This is the other side where I'm not going to tell you because more stuff's coming up. But here's the in cove coming around the corner here to the right. And he goes in. Go in. And that's where we seen what looked like the lady in gray, the lady in white, the lady in gray, right there. Right where you see that tree in and around that area. That's where we saw that sort of strange mist. It was really fucking eerie. But that's also where we believe the old farmhouse was, right in this area here where you don't see the crops. Right? So all this sadly is no longer. I mean, it's there, but it's not farmed anymore. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that. It's just absolutely beautiful. And there's the woodlot, and it's all going to disappear, sadly, the way it's looking. But let me just see if I can. I want to show you. Let's see. Where are we? Go. Where the heck are you? Sometimes it's just hiding in plain sight. I can find it right away sometimes, but a lot of times I can't. Where are we? Come on, where the heck is it? Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Who's in chat? I see Rachel still there. Yeah, Rachel. I will let everybody know. Who's still in chat? Come on. Say hello. Where the heck is it? Dave, how are you? Yes, there's lots of lurkers. That's DGI. I don't want that. I want, where the heck is I'm looking for the on. Maybe it's right here, actually. I think I finally found it. Here we go. Like, here you go. I'm going to share this. This is 22. Okay, 22. Frank, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Okay. I'm going to show you where you get 22. There we go. So I'm going to fast forward a little.
There you go. All right.
So, I mean, you guys saw this during the last episode, but this is the raw footage. I mean, look at it. How is that not so cool? Look, I mean, how is that not cool walking through a cornfield like that? Imagine what it was like walking through at night in the dark, stumbling. But you get in. Oh, it's inside. Hold on. Look at that. It's just so awesome. Minus the industrial in the back. But there you go. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. And anyways, it'll be sad to see that go if they do eventually plow it down. And it's all but certain. The way it's looking, I mean, when they're looking to fill the gaps for housing and everything else now. How do you not, unless it is a national park, a provincial park in our case, do you keep a huge plot of land like that without developing on it? There's just no way. No, the corn doesn't grow wild. No, like I said, the prior owners who had owned it since the 70s, I believe, the 75, I think they purchased the land. And they had a 50-year lease on it. 50-year lease, which came up. Or sorry, yeah, it came up last year. and they I guess they didn't extend it or renew it, so they sold it off. And the city now owns it. Exactly. It's a complete waste. It's a complete waste now. And like I said, because surveyors are on it now, it's literally, it's hopeless. I mean, it's only a matter of time before you have proposals stuck up there and handed out to the local community saying, "Oh yeah, this is what we propose." There was all sorts of proposals for that place, entertainment village, Costco, you name it. There's all sorts of fucking shit. But it looks like it's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be mixed industrial, mixed commercial, residential. And when we say residential, we're saying low income residential. So low income now is still expensive. It doesn't matter. It might be cheaper than whatever, but it's still freaking expensive. Right now, it's ludicrous. It's a joke. But yeah, sad. So, like I said, we're going to finish maybe 3, possibly 4 episodes, shoot all of them over a course of a few days. So yeah. No, Rachel. The people who owned it are, I can't really, I don't really want to say the nefarious background of this family or this group that owns it. They're wealthy, very wealthy, and they have a very large business that's thrived over years. And yeah, no, they're a Hamilton based family, and yeah, it's I believe they're Hamilton based, and let's just say it's nefarious. And it's really sad. It's really sad. I'm going to open this up in a bit, I think. So if anybody wants to come on up, you're more than welcome. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I will be right back. How's it going, guys? Back. I had to tend to something. Mr. Wills, good to see you, my friend. How are you? We need to schedule you on the new season. So let me know what your availability is like. Again, we'll probably maybe schedule it on a Friday, 6 p.m. here, which is 11 p.m. Your time, or a Sunday, whatever works better for you. Let me know. Friday or Sunday. He's been on, Rachel. Go into the archives. Steve is awesome. Look forward to having him. Look forward to having him back on. And like I said, look for a UFO roundtable, dark discussions roundtable. Because you know what? Speaking of it, I just found, I can't believe this eluded me for years. I really can't believe the fact that I didn't know about this. And maybe I didn't know about it, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. O'Donnell McElroy, who was a Army. Let me just see. I'm new to this, so like I said, I gotta grab the book. Matilda. No, I don't want to. No, get lost. Matilda O'Donnell McElroy, who had an encounter at Roswell. I believe it was 1949. She was stationed at Roswell Army Air Force Base 509th Bomb Group. And she had an encounter with an extraterrestrial. That only literally communicated with her mind. There was no talking, nothing. And again, I'm new to this, and trust me, I want to know more. So I definitely would like to pick the brains of people who do know more about this. The fact that we are actually living on a prison planet, that our souls are sent back, literally zapped and sent back into another physical vessel. So we're trapped no matter what. Even our souls are trapped, according to this alien, this being. And the story, like I said, I only know sparse aspects of it, but I got to grab the book and read the book. Hey, I'm up for a video nasty round table too, Steve. If you're up to it, sure, no problem. I have a lot of good friends that would love to chat about video nasties, especially in your neck of the woods. But wasn't a theory, Rachel. This is actually an experience that she claimed to have had communication with this alien, and it wasn't a theory. This is actually what the alien was communicating with her and saying, that we're actually living on what's known as a prison planet, and that we are literally held captive here because of our race, because of who we are. And there are people, like I said, I can't really get into too much about it because I'm not an expert on it. I got to read the book. The book is called, let's see, Alien interview, the essential companion for the study of the letters and notes of Matilda O'Donnell McElroy and the top secret, let's see, official, whatever. It just gets cut off there. So yeah, I definitely want to read this book. So I've ordered the book. And like I said here, stupid Pinterest. I hate Pinterest, whatever. Let's see. I don't know where I put it now. I had it. You can get the book relatively cheap. Study edition's fine by me. But rather interesting. Like I said, there's so much that has gone on in the UFO world that I'm relatively new to. I mean, I know a lot. I've experienced, like I said, my own sort of experience back in 2003 or 2005. Actually, no, it'd have to be, I think, 2005 maybe. When I experienced some rather interesting activity in the sky above Lake Ontario. And of course, I wasn't the only person that experienced this or has, you know. Oh, really, Frank? Do share, do tell. But yeah, we'll definitely have that, and of course, I think we're going to Frank. We'll probably have like a little tribute to Gareth. Not this Friday, but perhaps next Friday, give or take. Let me just see here. Next Friday night, we will probably have a tribute to Gareth, Gareth Davies of the Mindset Podcast. Probably next Friday night here, so probably start around 11 p.m. your time in the UK. For those of you who, like I said, I know a lot of people who continue to support and follow our show, knew and loved Gareth. So, I mean, it's only right that we keep his sort of presence alive, and we continue to do so. And unfortunately, he passed away. God, it's been what? 2 years now? 3 years? 3 years now. 3 years. 2020? No. Wait a sec. Let me just see. Time is flown. I think it's been 2 years. Let's see. No, it's been, God, 3 years now. Yeah. Scary. Sorry about that, guys. Wrong thing here. Yeah, it's been 3 years. So that's, oh God, that's crazy. Okay, we'll play it. Let's play it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just
creepy.
Ooh.
Hallo?
Wow.
What's cool to you?
Interesting. What are your thoughts? Well, I mean, yeah, it's easy enough to do something like that, but that was pretty eerie. Is it real? What do you think? What do you guys think? In chat, what do you think? I mean, what do you think? I mean, I know I'd be pretty freaked out if shit was going on like that in my place. I mean, I experience it all the time, but of course you'd say it's fake, Dave. Just kidding. But I mean, that's the problem. We've been so desensitized because of all the crap that's out there. And I have too, Rachel. I have. I've seen plenty. Yeah. The link's there if anybody wants to pop in. By all means, you're more than welcome to. I'll probably go for a few more hours, anyways. A couple more. Pin to the top. There we go. Anyone is welcome to pop on up. But I mean, yeah, it's you see lots of stuff like that all the time. But at the same time, it's easy enough to discount something like that. And real stuff slips right through because we automatically assume, yeah, it's fake. Because the amount of stuff that we're able to do now is incredible. I mean, technology is incredible. And when a person has or a person shares a real experience or what they think or what they assume is a real experience is automatically discounted as being fake. And rightfully so. I mean, look at when if I was to present to you some, and I never say evidence, I say findings. I hate saying evidence because it drives me nuts when somebody goes, I have proof, I have evidence. Bullshit. You don't. But anyways, if you present a finding and allow people to scrutinize it, then great. If you can't explain what's going on through recreation or anything else, then possibly we have some sort of scenario unfolding. But most people don't do that. But that's at the same time, like I said, people who do have experiences for the most part, won't share it online. They won't. They're afraid. They're afraid of being labeled as crazy, or they're terrified. They're terrified. Absolutely terrified. I've been investigating the paranormal and researching the paranormal since 1996. And yes, like many others, I have gone to all the hyped up places that, claim that they're haunted and had all these events unfold there. And 9 out of 10 times, and it's good that you're a skeptic, Dave. You need to be skeptical. Everybody needs to be skeptical. You have to be skeptical. If you're not skeptical, then don't even bother. If you're not skeptical, everything's a ghost. And, people are tired of hearing that. But you know what? It's the truth. Yes and no, Rachel. Yes and no. Poltergeist activity is extremely rare, if real, period. And I know a lot of people hate it when I say that, but it's the truth. It's you again, you have people who claim that they've had this so-called poltergeist activity. I mean, I don't even want to get into a rant right now. I wasn't even thinking about getting into a rant. It's like demonic activity. Not once in over 300 investigations have I ever experienced demonic activity. True demonic activity. Whatever the fuck that is. I know. Sorry. I keep saying Rachel. I don't. Rochelle. Sorry. Thank you, Frank, for correcting me. Now somebody click the link and come on up. But it's trust me, I want to see a demon. Come on, show me a demon. But you know what? I've had a lot of claims, a lot of people claiming, a lot of activity that's claimed as being demonic. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But it never materializes. It's not there. It's not there. It's explainable. And 9 out of 10 times, it's explainable. 99.9%, it's explainable. I've made a lot of enemies, and I don't mind. I have to, because let's face it. You have to be truthful. Hey, Joe, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you. You have to be rational. You have to incorporate what science has told us, has explained to us. And look at science is fallible, it's man-made, and I do understand it doesn't explain everything. And that's why you have the paranormal. Yet to be explained. Yet to be explained. Yet. So if you have something that kind of is in that realm of yet to be explained, you can throw whatever you want scientifically at it. It's useless. It's useless because science can't explain it. You just gotta know. You try and try. I have had several things unfold before my eyes and ears and senses. And that's the problem. Our senses are marred, are filtered when you're growing up. Your senses are filtered. You're told as a kid what everything is supposed to be like. And like a good little child, you follow that, right? Most part. But as you grow older, you start to question those filters because you may have had an experience, or you go into deep thought about something and go, wait, this doesn't make sense. And it's true. I mean, there is a world. It's called the metaphysical world. I mean, it does exist. It's there. It's a proven fact. It's the non-physical world that we don't understand, that many of us don't understand. It exists. It's there outside our senses. But if you're smart and if you understand and if you educate yourself, it's there and does explain a lot of the stuff that science doesn't. But because we have science, it's pseudoscience, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. There have been a lot of leading, uh, scientists and teachers and so on and so on that have been blacklisted because they've tried to bring this to the forefront. Now, we've had a few people on this show to talk about the metaphysical world. In fact, one we had, was a well-known teacher at professor at the University of Toronto, U of T. And when he started incorporating 0 point energy and the metaphysical sort of realm, they blacklisted him. Why? They don't want you to know. They don't. It goes against our ethics. Absolutely, Frank. Experience is real. But because we're fallible, it contaminates that. I don't know. It's sad but true. Let's see. But see, even Rochelle, when you say schizophrenia, I mean, is it really schizophrenia? Or multi-personality disorder, bipolarism, and all this kind of that realm. I mean, when a person is labeled as crazy, are they really crazy? Are they really? Or are they tuned into something we just aren't tuned into? Therefore, they're automatically labeled as being crazy. But is that the fact? Is that the end all be all? Because somebody's talking to somebody that's not there all the time. It's like when you're a kid and you had your imaginary friend. Imaginary friend. But are they actually imaginary? Are you actually communicating with somebody that might be there? A spirit or whatever. Hmm. It just it's makes no sense. Oh, sorry guys. I have to snack on my Space Raiders. And damn you, Mr. Wills, for having a damn t-shirt. I still have to get one of those t-shirts. Damn you. Damn you, Mr. Wills. You have one. Yes, Frank. Absolutely. Everybody's afraid to click the link. Come on. Somebody wants to click the link. Somebody wants to come up. Don't make me rant by myself. God. Hold on. But it's amazing that people are quick to discount things outside the norm, if you will, because their filters have taught them. Well, look at that's not normal, so it's not real. Really? And why is that so? Well, because so and so told me that. Really? Have you experienced something like that before? No. Well, then how the fuck do you know? uh, uh, it's how do you know? You've never experienced. How the fuck do you know? Who are you to tell me who what and that's another thing, these people that pop out of the woodwork that think they're experts on the paranormal. What does it take to become an expert on the unknown? Let's top it by saying certified. Oh, I'm a certified expert. When I go on to when I do a media thing, a radio show or TV show or whatever else, and they say, what should we call you, a paranormal expert? No, God, no. I'm not. I'm a student. I'm forever learning. I'm not an expert. I've only experienced. I might be experienced, but I'm not an expert. None of us are experts. No matter what, you know, Mr. Son of Krypton. How are you, Dave?
All good. All good,
Cheers.
yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
So what's new?
Well, I just heard you talking and I thought I'd come up, I think what we need somebody who's a complete skeptic and somebody who's a complete believer, and just have one debate on it, don't we?
You can debate me all you want.
No.
I'm not a complete believer, and it's like this guy here, Frank. I'm very skeptical, Dave. I'm extremely skeptical with the paranormal. I always have been.
Yeah.
Right. And people get pissed off at me for being like that, and it's too bad. But I mean, you have to be, because if you're not, everything's a ghost.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I think what makes it worse is so much fakery about, and that
shitloads of it,
and that just completely, into the mix, and it just completely fucks it up, doesn't it? To be honest,
that's why I like to look for like really, really old videos, like old stuff where there wasn't any computers, like fake stuff. I think they're more convincing.
I'm not sorry, Steve.
No,
not sure.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure about that video, just Frank, because there just seems so much going on in one short space of time.
It's an old video though. It's 14 years old, from Hungary.
14. That guy was from Calgary.
Hungary.
Oh, Hungary. Okay, and then you got this guy over here, Mr. Joe. Hey, Mr. Joe. How are you, Mr. Joe?
Hi, Frank.
All right.
So, all right, Joe.
So Frank, what was it about that video? Like, you stumbled upon that? I mean, I love the video. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, do I believe it? Probably. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one, but it was an interesting video.
The thing that like, there was like a shadow in the corner of the room, like a shadow.
I saw that, yeah.
And he didn't seem to notice it on the camera. He was just ignoring it.
I think
That was a bit weird.
I think the first thing I heard in that house, I'd have been out that house like a shot. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't have stuck around with all that stuff going on. You know.
And what's weird is that he's never posted in the comments after the video was posted, and he's never made another video. That's the only video on his channel, and it's got thousands and thousands of views on it. He could make money on it, but he never has.
Mm-hmm.
It's 258,000 views on that video.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's never come back again or made another video or done anything with his channel.
He's probably made enough money not to bother to.
He's probably still running. If it was real, he's probably still fucking running.
I posted something on my personal channel years ago, and I was like, holy shit, what's it with the views? It shot up there because I don't have the followers or subscribers. I wasn't able to get monetized. But then they said, because it has so many views, you can get monetized. Oh, really? Okay. Just weird.
Hi, Adrian.
How's it going, Adrian?
I've had a little jump in my subscribers lately. I was stuck on 520 for about a year. Then all of a sudden now I've got over 610 or 609.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I enjoy though, what you post, every once in a while, Frank, the music stuff.
Yeah,
I enjoy it when you post some stuff musically. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I should post some more. I've got hundreds of videos, but
you should, man. I enjoy it. I mean, when you post it, I enjoy it. I really do.
I want to do something different, like do a live thing with like writing something, and recording and stuff.
Have you ever done a live during one of your live shows?
Nah, it's pretty hard to do when you're playing.
Well, just put your phone aside and say, "Hey, look, you guys."
I don't have a smartphone, so
okay.
I'll do that.
Well, the only problem as well, you could possibly get a strike for it. I don't know. If YouTube picked up, because they're really tight over there. I don't know.
They're bad.
What it's like with you, Steve, but over here,
it's the same.
It's
the same. You got to remember, we're just like you guys. I think it's the US is a little bit more loose with theirs, but here it's just as archaic as it is over there with the shit,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's the biggest. That's what stopped me from doing it, with more stuff. I'd love to do stuff, but
Cheers, Steve. He likes my Gary Moore cover video. Was that The Prophet? Yeah, The Prophet by Gary Moore.
See, well, that what I really enjoyed when you played it is Frank, the 1-bit shit.
Oh yeah,
that's honestly that like I mean, it's when you're growing up in that era and thinking, oh wow, hey, it's so easy to do shit like that. Maybe for some people, I mean, the odd person, but I mean, for most people, it's like, fuck, how do you do shit like that?
It's not easy.
It's exactly, that's what I mean. It's not easy. I mean, for you to do one thing, how long did you say it took you?
Oh, well, it depends. Like, to write the program to play the tune took months and months and months.
Yeah.
So, but once I had the player written, then I could do a tune in, I don't know, a few days.
But still, it's not easy. It takes time. It's time sensitive. I mean, you get a lot of stuff, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. But do you think do you see a resurgence in that kind of sort of nostalgia, if you will?
Yeah, people still doing it. So yeah, people still do music for ZX Spectrums and Commodore 64s and the old 8-bit computers.
Is it easier to do it now though, or is it still?
Yeah, because now you got you got PC programs to do it on.
Yeah, I
But,
was gonna say.
and then you can just get the code out of the PC program and put it on your ZX Spectrum or your Commodore or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's really easy now.
You know you know what I don't like, and I think it's taken out. You know the AI thing, where you can get the AI to make a tune for you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know, I mean that's just completely taking all the skill out of it, isn't it?
yeah, but
You know.
they're not very good.
Well, yeah, not yet, but you know, there's a chance that obviously, you know, you can say to it, make a song up about Joe or something like that, and it does all the music and puts all the bloody lyrics in for you. You know,
Right.
and that's how it's going to become. And also these voice simulators where they can make you sound like somebody else. You know, it's you know, like Frank Sinatra maybe, or Elvis or something like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy, and
Cool.
it's only good that technology it's only going to get better and better and better.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Mhm.
that's the thing about it. And that for me, that just takes all the talent out of things like songwriting and, you know, composing songs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe it's something we've all got to get used to. I don't know.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble, guys. We're in trouble.
Rochelle's, yeah.
Hey, Rochelle, how are you?
It's not Rachel, it's
Hey,
Rochelle.
what's up?
I know. I kept
What's up,
saying
what's
Rachel.
up?
Eh?
Whoop,
It's
whoop.
Rochelle. It's
It's
Rochelle. Hi,
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Yes.
Hi, Rochelle.
Ciao.
Hey, Mick. How
Yeah.
are you?
You're broken.
Hi, Mick.
Hi,
Mick.
can you hear me okay?
We
Yeah.
can hear you. We
You're,
can hear
Oop, oop.
You're freezing a little bit, Rochelle.
you. Yeah. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah. Oop, oop. Let's check this here.
Yeah.
I can hear you fine.
You're,
I do.
Oh, shit.
When you talk about change your voice, I need to get myself a decent
There's a
microphone
delay.
so I can use me plug it in the back of my keyboard so I can do recording.
mm-hmm.
You gonna put some songs together, Joe?
Hey, sing. Yeah, but I'll only sing when you're all asleep.
Sing
What?
when we're all sleeping, right?
Just don't record it in Geordie, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, the
Because you-
recorder will change all that because you can tune it up, you see, so you might be able to understand us, guys.
So how are we doing, Rochelle?
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
Is it still lagging?
Just
Yeah.
your video just a little bit. Your audio is fine, but your video's lagging a little.
We'll tolerate the video because my internet's not happy today, as long as the voice is fine.
I understand. Like I said, mine is horrible sometimes. I get it.
How far are you away from Steve then, Michelle? Are you like hundreds and hundreds of miles away, or
You're in the Windsor area, aren't you?
No. Me? No, I'm in Toronto. It's just they're
That's right,
fixing the bell outside, so it's probably affecting it.
Mm.
Hi,
That's
Liam.
all right.
So Rochelle's about 45 minutes around.
Oh, that's
not far. Not far at all.
Mm.
Good old TO. I miss TO. I used to work in TO all the time. And the hustle and bustle of working on film sets, and I you know what, I don't know if I miss that or not, or I do, but I don't.
Mm.
I do or I don't. I mean, it depends on what I was working on.
What sort of
I
stuff
don't
did you
know.
used to do then, Steve? Was you working on films and stuff, or
I was working on features and TV shows and you name it, all sorts of fun stuff and not so fun stuff and blah blah
okay.
blah.
And what happened then? You just
Usually
chose
the
to
movie
get
sets are
get a-
downtown. Yeah.
I had to stop when I got married. I had to stop because working 16-hour days was 16-hour days. It was ludicrous.
Mhm.
And I got to the point where I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to do my own thing. So I kept all my contacts, and I was working with a production company that moved from Saskatchewan to Toronto for a few years, making a few features, non-union stuff, because I liked his approach. And
With the
unfortunately,
Media Works, right?
no, it was
Did Media Works move to Saskatchewan?
No, it was Renegade Motion Pictures. And
Yeah, I know that.
unfortunately he passed away, and it dissolved, and it kind of sucks because they
Oh.
had the last.
Well, that's why it dissolved.
Yeah, that's why it dissolved, unfortunately. So, I mean, I worked.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah, I worked on a few, but I think the biggest one I worked on was Autumn with David Carradine was on there. David Carradine. Who else?
I have a story about that series, actually.
Dexter Fletcher. You guys will know Dexter Fletcher over there in the UK.
I know David Carradine. He was the Kung Fu bloke one too.
You still work for them when they did. I actually have an experience with the Kung Fu. The story continues from the 90s. It was very cringe. Would you guys like to hear it?
Sure. Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Carry on. You got the chair.
Yeah. Okay. I went to go see an INXS concert when I was 19, and the guy who plays his son, I don't remember who he was, but we'll just not say his name. And he was in the VIP section with me and a couple friends. And I went to get a chair for a friend of mine who had cerebral palsy so he could sit down because it was a standing room only. And we're leaving the concert, and we were getting like t-shirts and all sorts of nonsense like that. And I saw him, and my mother loved the original Kung Fu from the 70s, and she was watching the show again because she loved David Carradine. And I went up to him and I said, I know this is rude, but may I please have your autograph? And he's like, sure. And I give him like paper, and he says, what's your name? And I said, oh, no, that's not for me. It's for my mother. She loves you. And he's like, oh. So I give him my mom's name, and he goes, what's your name? I'm like, well, my name's Rochelle. And he's like, so why are you guys at the concert? And I said, well, my friends here, my two guy friends from the football team I was on, took me here for my 19th birthday. Now let's remember how old this guy is. He's like a 35 trying very hard to be 22, right? So he goes, so what are you up to? Do you want to hang out? And his bouncer just looks at him like, are you kidding me? And I was like, no, I'm going home with my friends. We stick together. And he's like, are you sure? We can have fun. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thanks. Have a good night. And me and my friends like go across the street really fast. And we watch him get into his limousine, and him and his bouncer, his security, go away. And my friends are like, blah, blah, blah. Like, who does that? That's gross. The man was like, so we go home and we look up on the internet how old he was. And he was 39 at the time. I had just turned 19. So my dad still worked for 32 Division at the time. And he's like, I'm going to go make his life difficult. So he calls his friends at the fire department, near the Hilton Hotel where he was staying and said that he wanted them to go investigate his hotel because someone smelled methamphetamine coming from his room. And he had to vacate his room at the time. And at the time, he had 2 hookers in his room, and they had to leave the hotel to go downstairs.
Oh my God.
Because he hit on his daughter. And I didn't find out he did that till 2 weeks later.
That's cool. Your dad is at 30,
What a gross guy.
Your dad.
Yeah, my father was a police officer, and at the time he worked for the gangs division. He was task force.
My dad was at
And
Central
I found
Garage.
out for the entire time he was filming that season. Yeah, so the entire season they were filming Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. My dad would have police pull him over, toss his car when he went over the border. He made his life absolute shit for the entire 3rd season. He was filming in Toronto.
Yeah. My dad
so
was at
never
Garage,
fuck with the cop's daughter.
Right by the C&E there.
So David Carradine, I don't remember what his name is, but he is. I've also found out that after Legend Continue, he had problems renewing his visa for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, he
couldn't come back to Ontario and had to film in Alberta.
Yeah, he's had an interesting.
So
that's for sure. He's had an interesting life.
I was just looking at his
he has issues.
Wikipedia. He's had a few few things, mate. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is a shame, really, because I used to love the series when he was in it. You know.
And then
at the time, brilliant. You know. You've just shattered my illusions of him now, to be honest.
You know what? I'll tell you. Like, you know, when I was working with him, we near the end of the shoot for Autumn, we rented out an old bar right by the world's biggest bookstore when it was still there, and we just finished up the shoot. I think it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And the bar owner said, "Oh yeah, come on over. You know, I'll serve you dinner and drinks and so on and so on." Yeah, cool. So we went in there, ate our dinner, and you know, he went up to the bar. You know, I went up to go talk to him. He ordered a beer and 2 shots of gin. And I'm like, oh, here we go, right? He gets his 2 shots of gin and his beer, and you know, I get my beer, and you know, we're talking, and all of a sudden he pulls out this handful of fucking meds. He just pops the meds in, and he downs the 2 shots, and then just guzzles the beer. I'm like, wow. Then all of a sudden, he goes, there's a piano. There's a piano in the bar. So he walks over to the piano, and he's like, "Guys, I'm gonna play a tune for you guys. This is by a well-known group that had this when they wrote this song, they had me in mind." And he started playing fucking the Eagles' Desperado. I wish I have it on video somewhere. It's great. It's fucking hilarious. It's phenomenal. The guy, you know what? The guy, look, he's an actor. He's been brought up in that life. His father, John Carradine, you know, his brother Keith. He knows. He's been a part of that life all his life. So he knows, right? But I mean, his kids, he had his kids there on set. Max, and I can't remember his daughter's name. Max is only fucking 12 years old. 12 years old. He was 70.
Oh dear.
You know?
I'm telling you, look, when I started working for the RCMP, the first star I had to bail out of like trouble, the first star, he was in Dumber and Dumber. Can you guess who it is? The Canadian star?
What's his name? Carrie? No, Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, Carrie. Was it Carrie? Jim Carrey?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never actually seen the film, to be honest. I just tried to
It
think
was
who
bad.
Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was completely loaded. He had smacked the shit out of his girlfriend. And we had to put her on a plane back to California. And call the embassy for her.
Wow.
So she wouldn't get arrested. And they totaled a hotel room. That's when I decided I was going back into forensics, so I wouldn't have to deal with the stars, and I was going to deal with bad guys and not with babysitting. Like, what a mess. It was before, it was like when he was still like cool. And everyone's like, I love Jim Carrey. And I'm like, I don't. What a
Good
mess.
old Jim Carrey.
He was so stoned. I've never seen anyone that stoned. He had soiled himself. And he was screaming that George Washington was coming to get them.
George Washington.
George Washington.
Go to California.
George Washington.
That George Washington was coming to get them. And the television was in 5 pieces and the bed frame was gone and there was sick everywhere and it was just bad. Like autopsies are cleaner. It was bad. It was like
sounds like they've really done a good job on that room.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you become popular and you have lots of money and attention and everything else, right?
Well, it was it was just the normal in
like he's not he's you know?
It was just all part of the like all the bands and stuff in the 70s and 60s, you know, smashing up hotel rooms. It was just the normal. It was just it was expected, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they come by it honestly. You expect it.
Yeah.
Frank,
like if I had a smashed up room from a band, I'd be like, same shit, different day, right?
Well, hopefully Frank hasn't done anything like that yet.
Frank,
and then they gave him a fucking star on the fucking like Canadian Hall of Fame 4 weeks later.
Where's that?
And he's coming back. He looks all nice and sweet.
Yeah, because nobody would hardly get to hear that story. You see what people are like in real life, you know.
I think what it is the money goes into there.
You think so? Yeah.
It's got to be. Money goes there.
He had a bit of a nervous breakdown.
Canada, pick your heroes, right?
He did have one. Yeah.
It was about 3 years ago.
He had a very big nervous breakdown.
Yeah, and he grew his beard really long and everything, and he went all
He's
spiritual.
painting now.
Yeah. He's very spiritual now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's not on drugs anymore because damn. Just damn.
The TV and them bed frames and that will all be coming to haunt him now.
Yeah, I think he just got too deep into the Hollywood thing and then lost himself.
Yeah,
easy done.
A lot of.
I think it's the company he was keeping. It's sort of like a Robin Williams, John Belushi sort of thing.
I see.
It's the company you keep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, people. Absolutely, absolutely.
That's why I was trying to stay away from Lee.
Not a very paranormal talk, but that
it keeps corrupting me.
Well, Liam's a bad encouragement, but I still love him.
You know, I'm telling you right now, when I do make my way over there, I would like to go exploring with Liam. Liam, did you hear that? I want to go exploring with Liam.
Oh, he'll take you on a few places. Don't you worry about that.
Well, I know.
Oh.
I like a lot of him and Matt, right? Him
He
and
take you
Matt.
through nettles and everything, man. He'll have you climbing our walls and everything. You will.
Good old Matt. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you'd have to meet up with the Vault as well. He'll take you to some really interesting places, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Matt's been around and all. Oh,
He's been all over the place. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Keith Moon was banned from most hotels. Yeah. Look what happened to him. Keith Moon.
Oh, he was an edible case.
My StreamYards won't do the chat. Yikes.
Your StreamYard won't do the chat.
It should do, shouldn't it?
Yeah, should be there.
It's okay. I can hear them like knocking down an entire pole outside. The pole is like across the street. There's no traffic. Someone crashed into the pole last night.
Oh yeah.
Crash. I don't know how they just like it's standing there. Like, there's the road. There's the pole. Go past the pole. Use the road. Like.
Well, if they say that they're crashing into the pool instead of calling the road.
They're replacing the pole outside.
What's the pole for? Is it for?
Yeah, there's a pole in the middle of the road.
Is it for telephones or electrical stuff or what?
It's for the telephone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like there's electricity. There's no power across the street.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
doesn't it amaze you though that in this day and age we still rely on poles and wires to for electricity? Isn't it amazing when you know the technology's there to transfer in a much more efficient and better manner, yet we still to this day rely on wires.
Overhead lines, yes.
Yeah, overhead lines. It's amazing.
Well, we're talking about Nikola Tesla stuff then.
Yeah,
he managed to. He said he worked out a way to transmit electricity without cables and stuff like that. You know.
I remember that.
Well, you have to say by adding free energy, and that's something that would never go with a company like GE that would love to make money. No, we can't have that. We can't have somebody killing us with free energy. Screw that shit.
Well, that was the whole purpose of nuclear power stations, if you remember.
Yeah.
Once we built nuclear power stations, nobody will pay electricity bill ever in their life.
No.
But they still screw with.
Well, they shut all the nuclear power stations down, didn't they?
All right.
That was cheap electricity. That was the cheapest form.
What they shut all your electricity, your nuclear. They shut them down.
Yeah, they shut them all down. All the nuclear
power.
Ours are still going.
It was because there was too many leaks starting to happen.
As far as I know, yeah, Pickering's still going.
Pickering's still up and running.
Yeah, Pickering's still up and running.
I think they've got a few, but not as many as they used to.
I remember getting a tour of Pickering when they were still building it when I was 10.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I'll tell you what,
that was awesome.
What I watched last night on YouTube. Have you ever seen the film about the Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that. Yeah. Hey, Kevin, how are you, man?
Elephant's foot underneath, which is still burning through the.
Yeah, it was really good film. That is about it. You know.
Yeah.
What happened with
it? Chernobyl still has like in Pripyat.
Yeah.
Pripyat.
It's still burning apparently, Chernobyl. It's
and they didn't know about it till Switzerland. Oh yeah, she's still hot. You could burn everything down. Cook Putin on it. Yeah. Well, Putin was head of the KGB. when Gorbachev was in power at the time.
Mhm.
But at that time, yeah, Gorbachev was in power, and Putin was head of the KGB at the time, and that's
What was the event
they
at
named
19?
the KGB something else, but she's still running.
I think it's about 1998, something like that. Was it when it happened?
1980. I know.
1986.
1986 when that happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When Chernobyl, when Pripyat had the explosion,
Mhm.
it was 1986.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had that other incident in Great Britain with Windscale. Remember?
I still had family. I mean, my family immigrated from Ukraine, so we still had family there.
Right.
They actually shut down all the international phone calls when Pripyat blew. There was no phones for 3 weeks to hide it.
Well, that Chernobyl incident, what they've done, they didn't tell anybody until the last minute about it. They kept it hush-hush.
They didn't tell anyone, and they never had any intention to. Switzerland saw it in the air, like the readings.
Yeah.
That's how it was discovered. That's the only way it was discovered. They had no intention to tell anyone. Russia never makes mistakes. It is against the motherland to make mistakes. Russia perfect.
And that's why they had to evacuate all
Russia
people.
never make mistakes.
What it was, there was underneath.
Yeah, they bust them all out.
Underneath the reactor, the reactor was dropping down, and if it had
it exploded. Like people watched the explosion from a bridge from Pripyat. It blew up.
Yeah.
It blew up like boom.
There was
like people saw it. Like fireworks.
The reactor. And if the reactor had hit the water, it would have caused a massive explosion that would have destroyed Europe, basically.
That's correct,
And there was a lot of people that they actually died trying to stop that happen. You know, they were heroes.
All them blokes digging the trenches and going under the tunnels and that.
Yeah.
But the worst ones, remember when it exploded, the poor blokes had to go and get exposed to radiation with the lead shields on.
Yeah, yeah.
Picking bits up and chucking it over the sides.
That's right, yeah. And they were the true heroes, you know, of it. It's just, I mean,
big time. There's mass graves of lead coffins of like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
From that first effort to shut her down. From the first effort.
I'll be right back, guys. Keep going. You're doing a great job.
An awful way to die.
There was that one in Japan as well, wasn't that? Was it Japan? There was one that happened a few years back in Japan.
Yeah, Fukushima.
Yes, yeah, Fukushima, yep.
Fukushima, yeah.
2011, Fukushima.
And it got flooded
from the earthquake and the tsunami.
That's right, yeah.
And they're still pumping out radioactive waste into the ocean, still to this day.
Yeah.
And look all them bags of radioactive waste.
The whole
tons and tons of bags of radioactive material, man.
Oh, there's tons of it. Yeah, there was wind scale.
And not to mention the entire like well, I mean, it had a meltdown, and then literally the waste just washed into shore. It was just.
They're still pumping it out, even now. They're still pumping out the radioactive water.
Yeah,
to the ocean.
So that's right, Steve.
Yeah, it's mad.
I mean, can you imagine what? I can't even fathom.
But yeah, we got a nuclear power station down in Dungeness in Kent, like down south here.
Yeah, you are. That's right.
They shut that down, and that's still like putting radiation out. They shut that down.
And think about the Americans. They bury their nuclear waste in the ground, and then can't figure out how they get caught when thousands of people get sick. You know, and they line it with plastic. Oh, is this a problem?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Because the problem is,
Yeah, they'll just put it in a Ziploc and hope that it lasts.
They
They
pour,
don't know.
con-
They
they
don't know
pour
what to do with
concrete.
it.
They pour
Yep.
concrete on it, and then after about 10 years, the concrete cracks and it starts leaking again.
That's correct. All right.
Exactly.
Of course, with the cold and the heat and the cold and the heat. Yeah, it's not going to last.
I heard about that, Steve Willis.
What's that? Oh,
About
UFO
the
activity.
UFOs spotted over Fukushima.
All right.
Remember that? 'Cause when it blew, if you watch carefully, you're seeing things flying about. Nobody knows what they were.
Hmm. Interesting.
There's lots of UFO activity round my way in the 80s.
Right.
Lots.
In the
Triangles.
90s, they were cruising our bases. They like to look at our bases here. They go by
No,
the military bases here. I don't know.
The flying saucers up off our nuclear plants. Who knows?
I've never seen one myself, so I don't know. You know.
We don't really get flying saucers. Well, they're quiet. At least they're not noisy.
The only weird thing I've seen in the sky is I was out one night, a winter night, and the sky was clear as a bell. You could see every single star. And I was showing the girlfriend I had at the time the Great Bear, and I said, "Hang on, that's not the Great Bear. It was in the same shape." I said, "The Great Bear's over there." And I said, that's weird. And we both looked back over and we pointed up at it. And as we pointed up at it, all the stars moved around in circles, spirals, and shut off. It's really weird. Like they was in the shape of a constellation in the sky.
Wow.
And they all just spiraled around and just shut off.
Wow.
When was that, Frank? What
Good way to hide.
Yeah, that was around 2004, 5.
Okay. I was just wondering if it was drones, but drones about then 204. I don't think they were they? Or were they?
Was early
Yeah,
days, but
there was drones in 2004.
This didn't look like it was like in the atmosphere. They just looked like they were out in
That's
space.
not drones, though.
Yeah.
They were like a long way away.
The only thing I saw was a big triangle.
And it was just like, they looked like stars. They just looked like stars, like bright stars.
Kind of like what I experienced in
That's very cool.
2005.
About
Above Lake Ontario.
About the same time as well, then.
What did you see?
I saw, I was driving home from work. I think it was about probably 4 a.m. And I was driving along and literally saw three orange lights that were like doing some weird shit. But in the beginning, it kind of looked like they were kind of like driving, they were like positioned right alongside. I thought, okay, maybe they're just like street lights in the distance. And then I go, wait a second, they're kind of high in the sky to be street lights, especially me being elevated from the lake. I'm like, this is weird. So I'm watching these things as much as I can, and they're just doing some weird shit, like going all over the place, And I go, okay, I'm going to pull over at the next intersection and turn around and face these and watch them. And I was able to record them on my cell phone. And you got to remember, 2005 cell phones sucked.
Yeah.
So, but I got as much as I could as possible. And I go, fuck, I got to get home because it wasn't far from home. And I drove home, grabbed my camcorder, and I'm going to go to a position above an area, a ridge, where I can like get the lake really well. But by the time I got there, they had all disappeared. But it was really weird. I mean, here, I'll show you guys. It's not the best footage, but give you an idea what I was experiencing.
I think it's good as well when you get several people all see the same thing. You know.
And somebody did. My friend did see it on. He was on his way to work when that was happening, and he actually contacted the airport close to us, and then he contacted the military and asked them about if there was any exercises in the area. And of course, they're not going to tell you if there is or not, right? They're not.
That's true.
They don't care.
They don't tell you no, man.
No, they don't care. I've shown this a few times, but like I said, you got to remember this is like fucking 16 years ago. You can't really tell, but just to give you an idea, okay, I'll share my screen.
There's declassified discussions from
can you see this?
the military and the government about UFOs online.
So right here, in between the two traffic lights. So I'm on the side of the road. You see where I'm pointing at, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right. In between, you see this light here. That's in the sky.
I don't see anything.
Right here. It might be hard to see. But
I'm gonna have to rewatch this. Oh,
well, I haven't started it yet. I just okay. So right here.
Yeah,
right,
I can see
you
that.
see the two red lights, the street light, and then a car coming up. But this light here is one of the three lights that I was witnessing in this. Okay, anyways, I'll play it. You're going to hear my hazards going. But that light in between the two traffic lights that disappeared. There it is, right there. It's back. That's it right there. Hold on. So that light right there was the last of the three that was. The other two had disappeared.
What?
Right there. That was roughly above Lake Ontario. So it's in the distance. And again, this camera phone, the cell phone was not the best. So like I said, I wish I had better technology to film this.
I mean, that's quite bright, that is, isn't it?
It's extremely bright.
There's an incident like this that happened not so long ago.
Lake Ontario is full of these experiences. Orange, if you type in orange orbs above Lake Ontario, you'll see all sorts of footage.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, my co-host Alex, he had a similar experience when he was living in a condo in TL.
I mean, it's not even moving, is it? It's stationary, isn't it?
It's very stationary right now. Like it's just hovering right now. But when I was driving, these things were doing all sorts of fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I said, I finally gave up and said, you know what? I got to get my camera.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a CIA program called Project Mirage? It started back in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Where the government were faking using hallucinogenics, going out in a helicopter, flying over like a remote area, finding like a bloke in his tractor or whatever, or someone like on their own, spraying like these hallucinogenics over.
I've heard of that.
And then going down, and then this person had like a alien experience, and then they abduct him, taking in his helicopter, which has got this artificial room in it, like a lab room with a table on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take him away, fly him away for about 2 hours, drop him off back where he was 2 hours later. And they did it to thousands of people. Project Mirage, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
What was the point
of American?
Yeah, the CIA.
Yep, CIA.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And it was connected with
Americans are weird.
Other foreign. It wasn't just America. It was about 10 foreign governments all over the world were doing it, all in conjunction with the CIA.
Wow.
Weird.
to put this alien agenda in people's minds.
Yeah.
It's a psychological operation, apparently. Project Mirage.
I have no opinion on that.
Right, I'm away for a quick cigarette. Won't be long, Steve. And
All righty, Joe.
I'm nearly.
He's going for his Lynx Max.
He'll be back before the end of the stream.
Uh,
Hopefully.
Rochelle, I do have a furry beast here with me. Look at that. Look at that furry beast.
It looks like a feline jaws or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, feline jaws. Yeah. It's called Paws.
Paws. Oh shit!
It's a demon.
Yeah, it's a demon paw.
It's a fur demon.
Fur demon. Yeah. Paws.
I had a weird
Cute.
sighting the other day. Walking back from my local shop.
They're called
across
fur
the park.
demons.
I looked up in the sky and there was this like shape. It was like just long.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's weird. And it's like reflecting the sun. It was like a sort of early evening, the sun was going down.
Yep.
Everything was kind of orange. And it was like reflecting the sun. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh, it's a plane. It's the shape of a plane. But it seemed to be stationary and it was like going like that and flipping up and then going back down again and then flipping back up again. It's like showing its belly and then going forward. It's like it was rotating in the sky. It's like really weird. And then after about, I don't know, 20 minutes, then I started like seeing it like weird properly, you know.
Was this at night or during the day?
Sort of it's still bright. It's still bright out, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was getting towards sort of dusk, just before dusk.
I ran a series of experiments a while ago with using an infrared filter that you could only get in China. You couldn't get it here. It was illegal here. In fact, they used to be on the old Sony night cam quarters years ago when they first came out. And then they outlawed them. And I'm like, why? Because people were using them for nefarious things. Really? Why? Okay, so I was able to...
Peeking in people's windows, that's why.
Well, peeking under people's clothes. These are infrared. It's like you can see under people's clothes. But anyways, I grabbed...
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
That's literally what was going on. But anyways, I grabbed the lens. I grabbed one for daytime, so for very, very high lit areas, and I put this retrofitted the camera with the night vision, and I put this filter on, and I took it out to film during the day, and wow, the discovery! It was incredible, man. Watching like the stratosphere planes drop, like their exhaust dropping particulates. You can literally see it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally shining in the sun.
Did you see the satellite system?
You know, reflection. It's like, what the hell, man? And people don't notice this shit.
Hence why they were banned, probably.
Well, exactly why they're banned.
Have you seen those UV cameras that see in the ultraviolet?
No, I haven't seen them, but
they pointed at the sky of any evening. Doesn't matter when. You see all these orbs and things up in the sky, like all over the place. Like really weird. It only sees ultraviolet, but it seems to capture like really weird stuff in the sky all the time.
What do you think, Rochelle? I know you and this is sort of like you're very skeptical. You keep it down to earth, and that's what I like. And you need to have that. So what do you think when somebody says, "I captured this kind of weird shit on camera. What's going on without trying to explain or trying to recreate or anything like that. It's just weird.
Well, people don't realize that even though there isn't, let's say, rain or a thunderstorm, there's a lot of electricity in the ionosphere and stratosphere, and you can capture it on certain types of faster film or film that picks up electricity. And what they could be seeing is pockets of moisture that's reflecting, or electricity that's actually passing cloud to cloud that doesn't actually create weather that is, let's just say, bombastic, that creates thunder and lightning. But as the barometer shifts, what you're seeing is electricity that is changing and adjusting to itself, and that will create circular patterns in the air. And it is actually electricity. So what you're watching and what you're seeing is a weather pattern.
So how many people know this? This is what I mean. People don't look into an explanation. They simply assume that, oh my God, I've captured something that's out of this world, and they don't try to explain it.
Because they want to believe, don't they?
Well, it's within this world. It's within.
Exactly. You know, there's so many phenomena that people don't really understand, have never heard of before, that are there. Right? And just because you're experiencing, oh, well, this is kind of weird. Wait a sec. I think I got something, you know, I don't want to say paranormal, but out of this world. Extraterrestrial. But it's not. It's easily.
Well, in a way, it's extraterrestrial. It's not on the Earth, right? It's in the sky.
It's in the sky, yeah. But I mean, it's
sure, why not?
It's explainable.
I reckon there's more stuff under the ocean, under the sea, than there is up in the sky.
Absolutely. Considering
only because there's 70% water on Earth, so there's technically more ocean than
but
terrain.
I mean,
so
we're talking about.
Of course, that's perfectly logical.
We've explored what, 20% of the ocean?
Yeah,
20%, something like that.
And a lot of those.
Actually, we've only explored less than 10% of the ocean.
There you go. So there you go.
And lots of those creatures down there look very alien to me.
You know. and
well, you're under several tons of water pressure. You're going to look kind of funky, right?
Yeah. Joe, you're looking like Bruce Banner.
I like those like translucent.
Hey, at least he's ripped, right?
That glow. They've got like their own light. They give off their own light, like pink and blue and like fluorescent lights.
Well, you don't want to be bumping into furniture down there, right? You better have your own light.
Yeah, furniture, yeah. Or you don't want to be in a submersive and implode.
Oh, it's going to be a late one for me tonight.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty clumsy. I can relate. You need your. I wish I had my own light.
Yeah. I've got to go down the shop soon.
I'm a clumsy girl. I can relate.
I've got to get some supplies and some beer.
Oh, I've got to get your beer in.
Supplies.
I've got my beers in. Well, I'm drinking some of it.
Frank, what's the beer choice when you go in and
supplies? You know, I bought beer and it's gone bad. Not much of a beer.
My beer choice, I don't know, whatever they got.
Cheapest.
if they're to have Smithwick's or Guinness, which one would you go for?
Guinness for me.
Yeah, Guinness.
Yeah.
All day long, yeah.
Guinness has got a bit too expensive now these days. Though.
It's expensive, yeah.
Too expensive. The price of cans of beer nowadays. What?
Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I can't drink Guinness. It's just too fuzzy for me. It's just too. I can't.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. But you could settle for a Lynx. Joe will educate you on the Lynx.
Oh,
Yeah.
after I've drunk it first.
I mean, I'll join you for a Lowensbrow, but I won't do
that's
Guinness, right? I won't.
That's why Joe is green right now, because of the links.
I'll tell you what you would like. You'd like a Guinness with a Tia Maria in it.
Mm.
'Cause it tastes like vanilla and chocolate. It's lovely.
All right.
I'll
Same
try
thing.
that. But the
Yeah.
first Guinness I ever had was legitimately warm in a pub in the UK, and
No,
Oh,
Guinness
no,
Guinness is, in a pub. Guinness should never be
No.
warm. It should be cold. It should be ice cold.
Yeah.
If it's a decent pub, it should be ice cold.
Dave, do you have
It was
any more of
warm.
those big bottles of
It was
Stella?
warm.
You finish them off.
I'll tell you something. I'm almost out of drink tonight. I've got very little left.
I've got
Um,
none.
You know, when I was in New York, Frank, when I was in New York, I was scouring the city for some 804, or sorry,
Yeah.
805.
Yeah. You
Couldn't
can't
find
get
it.
it over here anymore.
Can't
I've tr-
find it.
I tried getting it online and everywhere was out of stock.
I don't think you could find it there.
What's that? Is that a lager or something? I haven't heard of that.
Gareth used to drink it.
Gareth used to drink it all the time. It's out of the UK. Sorry, out of California. Hey B, how are you?
Hi, B.
It's out of California. I was able to find it in Las Vegas, and I should have brought a whole bunch home with me, but I never did.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're going to do a tribute, Frank. So if you're,
Well, Las Vegas is really close to California, so
yeah.
What date is the tribute?
We'll probably do it next, maybe on the 16th. So here, start around 6, maybe 11 your time. 16th. I think that's next Friday.
16th. Oh no. No. 15th. I've got a gig.
You got a gig on the 15th.
couldn't you order it from the liquor store? Because they'll get you anything if you ask.
They will. I mean, but they'll charge you the import fees and everything else. It's a joke.
15th. Hang on.
But if you want something, it's worth it, right?
I've got to look at my updated list.
It's hard to find. Like, I mean, they have a
I don't know. If I want something, I don't care.
Oh, I'm the same way. Firestone, though, it's.
Couldn't you find it downtown?
No, you can't get it in Canada, unfortunately. You can't. I've tried. Let me just see.
Then I just order it and just suck up the fees. I just suck it up.
I would just grab it and send it to my post box in the UK or in the US. Why do I keep saying the UK? The US. I have a post box in Niagara Falls, New York, so I would just get them and send it there.
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I didn't even realise you were in Canada.
Oh, there you go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Yeah, I'm about 45 minutes from the border of New York State, close to Buffalo.
Yeah. I thought you was in, I don't know why. I just thought you was in USA for some reason.
Well, probably because I talk about it so much. I'm always down there, right?
Yeah,
I'm always down there, but no, I'm here in Canada, Canadian, born and bred, Ontario. How about you? You too, Rachel. You're
Yeah, my aunt used to live in New York, in Manhattan. We were there like every summer.
Yeah.
Rochelle! Woo! Yeah, well,
Did I say Rachel again?
I mean, my parents landed in Toronto.
I didn't say Rachel.
But we used to. Yeah.
Sorry, Rochelle.
You did.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'll get over it. I'll eat that.
I used to have a mate at school who was called Rochelle, actually. Keith Rochelle, I think his name is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Rochelle's quite a popular name amongst the gypsies around my way.
Is it?
I remember being teased.
Teased? Why?
My parents thought it was very Canadian. When they came to Canada, they chose French Canadian names because my mother thought those were Canadian names. My brother is Louis, and I am Rochelle.
Louis and
So I think I
Rochelle.
got the better deal.
You got the better deal, yes.
Yes.
Louis, hey Louis.
Yeah.
Louis.
My brother just goes by Lou. He hates
Oh,
his
yeah.
name. Louis. He's Louis Joseph.
Well, I have a French background. Like I
He
said,
got screwed there.
my one side is French, and it's my last name is French, and I'm like I don't identify it because it's like here in Canada, Canadian French is known as sloppy French. If you're from France and you heard a Canadian speak French from Quebec or wherever else, it's like you sound like a frog.
Like French.
You sound no, that's even worse. East Coast French.
Do you guys speak? Any of you guys speak French at all? Or?
Parlez-vous français? Yes. Oui.
Oh.
Oui.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, well, I have a government job. You have to speak French, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Rochelle, speak to me in French. Speak to me in French. See how much I can understand you. Speak to me in French.
No.
No.
No. Pay me.
I never tried frog's legs.
Forget it. Je ne parle pas français, yo.
Et toi?
Oh, no, you're speaking double French. No. I can understand this, Ian.
But Canadian French is known as like it's sloppy French.
French.
Sloppy.
It's horrible.
It's horrible French.
The thing I hate about, like, if we get someone from Quebec, they don't say hello. They say oui bonjour, oui. They don't say hello. They don't say salut. They just say ouais. They answer the phone like yes. Like, I'm sorry, I ruined your day. Like, please don't hurt me. Ouais.
And
like, it's awful.
It's a misconception when you go to a French city in Quebec, like Montreal. Oh, do you have to know French? Oh, fuck no. And most of them speak English anyways.
Yeah.
It's when you get deeper in, like if you go to Quebec City, they do speak English, but prefer French. But it's when you go on the outskirts of these they
cities, resent you for it.
They don't like English. No, fuck no. Because
smaller communities.
Quebec as a whole for years have wanted to be a sovereignty. They've wanted to separate from Canada and be their own country. And literally
separatist.
Yeah. If they were to do that, they'd be fucked. It's expensive as it is now.
But they want us to pay for it.
Yeah, fuck that.
The French have always thought themselves superior and they're very ignorant as well to other people.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the currency alone would kill them. Like,
oh yeah, it would kill them. You have Newfoundland, you have the east coast of Canada, and then you have Newfoundland.
I mean, just like they want the privileges of Canada, but they don't want. Forget it.
No, go ahead. Finish.
They don't want to work for it.
Yeah, well, yeah. They don't want to have to pay for it. But I mean, you have...
The last time I was in Quebec was to visit the women's prison. Like, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love Quebec. Quebec. I've been to Quebec several times. I fucking love it. Very beautiful. Except for when you get into Quebec City. Quebec City's nice. Quebec City is like old Europe. It looks like old Europe, except for when you get to the outer skirt, certain parts. You're like, oh my god, have I crossed into a slum?
I went to Paris once. I hated it.
I'm just going to say this because I have to explain why I'm a little bitter. I'm Jewish and I'm not welcome.
You're not welcome in Quebec because you're
Jewish. Let's be honest. I'm not welcome.
Yeah, they're very.
I get a hard time.
I think the French are probably the most racist bloody.
I
Oh,
stopped
very.
wearing my Star of David after an experience in Quebec City.
Really?
And after that, I've been I don't do it anymore. I don't wear it anymore.
You should do.
I've
though.
never been called so many derogatory names. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So I'm a little.
you know what? It's like
Yeah.
night and day, guys.
That was
If
fun.
you're in Ontario and to cross over to Quebec, it's like night and day.
I don't wear my Star of David at work anymore. It's
It's one of the reasons why
they don't get it. It's just ouch.
One of the reasons
I've
why
never had that anywhere in Canada except there.
Britain's got such a big problem with immigration is because the French send all the immigrants over to us.
Well, you guys are having such a huge problem now, man. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. A million a year immigrants into this country.
And same here, Frank. Same here.
1 million in 1 year.
It's bad here, dude. It's bad. Like the amount of immigration now, it's like, come on. And the problem is and I'll get shot for this, but I don't care. I shouldn't say I'll get shot. I shouldn't say that, but it's they don't assimilate.
No.
I'm gonna fix my hair, excuse me.
You know, and that's the problem that you're finding in the UK. A lot of people
I'm here.
A lot of people will not assimilate to society, you know?
Yeah.
And they will cause trouble. They will cause problems. And that's
I'm grateful to be Canadian. I don't understand.
You know.
Steve, I've got to jump off, mate.
All right, Dave. Take care, buddy.
I just wish everyone could get along.
Thanks for coming up, man.
Yeah, I'll see you soon, Steve. Thank you.
Take care.
See you guys. See you, Frank.
Later.
See you, Michelle.
See you later.
Bye.
I've got to go as well. I've got to go down the shop.
All right, Frank. You take care, buddy. Good seeing you, eh?
Yep.
Take
Cheers.
care, man.
Be safe. Bye, Frank.
Yeah, I will be.
Catch you later, Frank.
Cheers, mate.
See you later.
Look after yourself, son.
Guys, hit the link at the top of the. I'll go for maybe another hour or so. Fuck it. Come on up. Liam, anybody, come on up. Always more than welcome to pop on in. So, Joe, what have you been up to?
Not much really. Bits and pieces, but I've been on YouTube watching my friends playing the guitars. I mentioned in chat early on, but somebody obviously didn't allow it to go through. So I love their bloody music, man.
Hey, Laura, good to see you. What about the drone stuff? You've been doing a lot of drone stuff still?
Not really.
No, why not, man? So
well, I've done some private stuff, but not for YouTube. Just I haven't edited or put music on it yet. It's just about the railway station, the building outside, the train station outside the front of mine. Stuff like that. But,
yeah, no, I remember you were saying that they're working on that train station. So they're still working on it. They haven't completed it yet.
Well, I reckon it's going to be finished end of next year.
Liam says Joe's been getting the Shrek.
Sounds like the TTC.
Oh, trust Liam. I knew you would come in. He always does. Bless him.
Pop on up, Liam. Come on, click the link. Laura, if you want to come on up, come on up.
Apart from that, I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube trying to catch up with stuff. And plus, I was talking to Matt last night. And then the other night I was on Will's channel. So, you know.
You were talking to Matt. Oh, and Matt did his live last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, Liam is eating pizza again. Liam, you're eating pizza again. Chicken pizza.
Oh, chicken pizza. Yeah, the chicken burger.
Oh, barbecue chicken pizza is everything.
Let me see. Hold on a sec.
Yum, yum, yum.
We'll get some people up here.
Mind, it's not I haven't done everybody. I haven't done people. I fell asleep on night
Matt.
hours plenty of times.
Hold on.
I've got these anti-glare glasses, you know, because it's to stop fatigue and stop damaging my eyes. But nah, I didn't suit them, man. Didn't suit them.
Oh, I just getting a hold of Matt, see if he's up for it. Matt's hold on.
What about Matt? I've got
Oh, you guys want to hear something gossip about people you don't know?
Absolutely.
About my mother's haunted house?
Sure.
Okay. Well, basically no one would rent the house after my mother moved out. The guy who bought it fixed it up. I don't know, he put some kind of jacuzzi in it and everything. He made it fancy schmancy. It was already made, like, fixed up, but he put, like, all sorts of unnecessary shit in it.
Mhm.
And people were coming and going. Like, the longest person who lived there was 6 months.
Yeah.
Because I guess our friendly neighborhood ghost didn't like them. And he ended up having it being torn down, and a big, beautiful new house was built there. But normally in Toronto, it takes less than a year to build a house. Like, they don't waste time here. It goes up, 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 up. It took almost a year and 8 months to get the house up. 3 construction companies went in and out of there because I guess our friend didn't like them. Well, the house got finally built, and for the record, it's ugly. The people who bought it moved out. They've only been in there for a year and a half. So it's for sale again.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So why?
So I guess it's true.
Okay, so what's the deal? Like the complete deal with this then?
Well, I asked the real estate broker why they moved out.
Mm-hmm.
And now when someone has to buy the house, you have to legally say it's got a guest, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
And I just pretended I wanted to buy the house. And she said before we go see it, she had to tell me that the people who moved in think it's haunted.
Okay.
So I said, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. And I didn't go in there. So the people who are selling the house have declared it's haunted, and they bought that house for $1.4 million, and now the house is for sale for $600,000.
Oh, it dropped that much.
Yeah,
sounds a bit like Amityville Horror.
it's a huge house, and
How
my
big
parents
how
were in a
big are
really
we
nice
talking
area,
about?
and
How big are we
it's
talking
a 7-bedroom house.
Okay, so what?
It's a 7-bedroom house with a
Square footage.
legal apartment in the basement.
So 3,000 square feet.
I think it's 5,000 square feet.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
do they want to investigate?
It was a big property.
Has nobody been?
I will not go back there. I absolutely. That is actually one property I will not go back to.
Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely not.
Why wouldn't you go back there?
Because he will follow you back. He will follow me back. He will follow anyone back.
I've had a few.
And I actually do not know how to prevent him to follow you back. I don't have any like holistic skills. I'm not a medium. I'm not some kind of like exorcist. I don't know how to keep you safe, but he will follow you back if you don't know how to, like, he will follow anyone back to get out of that house, because now he's at a point where the spirit. I went to visit my mom after my dad died with a friend who was like a friend of mine since high school.
Yeah.
And we took my mom to lunch, and the back of the car said someone was sitting in the back.
Yeah.
There was no one in the back seat. It was one of those cars that tell you to put your seatbelt on. Like, you know when people are sitting in the back and they don't put their seatbelt on?
Yeah, it indicates, yeah.
It told me there was someone in the back. I had to get out of the car and buckle the safety belt because it told me someone was in the back seat. When we drove back to his hotel and we went out to have a drink, we closed the doors and it said there was still someone in the back seat. When he drove me back to my house, when we got out, there was no one in the back anymore. I went up to my apartment, my cats were losing their shit, and I got into bed, and the lights outside my bedroom went click, and it's one of those really hard lights to turn on.
Mm-hmm.
And I freaked out. I said, "Get out of my house, go back to Mom's, I don't want you here." And he left, and my cats then came to bed. And my mother said, "I don't know what it was. When you and Danny came to visit, the house was so quiet. There was nothing going on. But around midnight, all of a sudden it got really noisy, and all the lights downstairs went on." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." Right? Like, the dude tried to come back with me, and I never went back to my mom's house ever again. If I saw her, she came over to my place or my brother's. My brother has never let his children go to my mother's house the entire time he's had kids, ever. He brought his son over when he was 2, and his kids started freaking out.
Yeah.
And he's never brought his daughter to my mother's house. So, like, the fact that my brother never brought his kids over to their grandparents' house should tell you something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, this is not okay. It's not okay. I'm not, like, trying to get any, like, I don't need attention. This is not an okay place.
So let me ask you though, what do you like personally? What do you think about all this? I mean, do you believe something's going on, but you're very skeptical? What do you think's going on when this sort of
with this house? Basically, the woman who sold the house, her husband's still in the house. It's a person.
Yeah,
I've seen him. He's bothered my whole family.
So,
like,
so when you say he's in the house, he's a person. Like, explain to people who may not know. Well, what do you mean? He's living in the house. Okay, but we're talking about non-human here, right?
No, he's a person. Like, well, he's not alive. He's a guy.
He's not alive, but
he's a dead person.
He's a dead person.
So he's a spirit.
He's a spirit.
He's a spirit. He's a conscious person. He's very conscious of his existence. He's like very there. And I've learned from
and let you know that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And he's not just a person, but he's a creepy guy. Like, he's not. If you're in and he bothered any of, like, I had a couple female friends sleep over, and if they were in the shower, he would open the sliding door while they were in the shower. If you're a woman, he used to bother my mother. Like, if you were a woman, a girl, he would open the door. You would feel someone watching you. If you went to get your towel, all of a sudden the towel would drop. Like, you had to bend over to get it. It was not okay. I remember being 16 and studying at like 11 o'clock at night, and I heard my name in my ear, Rochelle. It was like, bleh. It was. I remember the last time he did it, I was like 17. I said, "Get out of my room. You're an asshole. Like, either tell me what you want or get the fuck out." And he never bothered me like the Rochelle in my ear ever again. I noticed that when you stop being scared of him, he stopped doing the gross shit, like the whispering in the ear, but he never stopped doing stuff that entertained him. Like, sometimes he wouldn't let you out of the bathroom, like the door wouldn't open. Like, stuff like that. It was just malicious, mean stuff.
So when you think about that, though, I mean, how does that affect you being, like, say, skeptical believer? I mean, wow, this goes against a lot of the stuff that I sort of understand of what's going on. This is crazy. How does this make you feel?
My first memory as a child was seeing him look over my bed as a child, looking over, and I, of course, freaked the fuck out. But the thing is, my parents saw him. So, like, you can't, everyone saw him. You would catch a glimpse of him, like, once or twice a year. So he wouldn't always show himself, but occasionally you would see him, like, just walk by or something. So
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, don't walk.
Like, Joe,
his wife left that house because she would see him, and when he died, I'm going to be honest. I think he did something bad to their daughter.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That
Like,
always plays out. That does. That's always a
because
factor.
he
It
did
really is.
stuff that was, like he never did anything, like I guess sexual, right?
Mhm.
But you got the vibe is the fact he would do this stuff to me when I was under the age of 17, 18. Like he did it to
Yeah.
me when I was a teen.
Oh wow.
And when he died, she was not quite 18.
hmm
And usually when your house is paid off, and he was also older than her by about almost 20 years. Like he was a lot older than his wife. I think that if you had a good marriage, like if you miss your spouse, you want to
Mhm.
stay in the home that you enjoyed with them. Like when my dad
Yeah.
died, the only reason my mother left is because her MS kept her, like she couldn't deal with the house.
hmm
And it was sad for her leaving, but she didn't miss the guy. Like what helped her leave was that after my dad left, the activity ramped up really bad. Like I think there was some sort of like protection. Like my father said that he was worried about my mother after he died because he was worried about the guy. We just called him the guy,
The guy.
like
Yeah.
the old guy, the guy. Like that's what we used to just call him. It was the guy. But when her husband died, my parents got the house very quick. She was quick to leave. She left within a year after him dying.
Oh wow.
And his daughter, what my parents thought was weird is even though their daughter was only 19, she wasn't living at home when her mother left the house. She was staying with her grandmother. So I'm wondering if she moved out of her parents' house to get away from her dad.
Yeah, that's insane.
Do you know if anybody's ever done any
So
history
I
on
always got the feeling that it was not okay.
Well, yeah, that's always the first thing, Joe. Yeah, yeah. Like history-wise,
Gotta
what
get
kind of
history
history?
about the
What kind
house.
of research in the history of this place has come forward?
And the fact she was willing to talk to me when I went to talk to her after my dad died, because I knew my dad would not be okay with me talking to her. But when I did talk to her, all I said was, "Were things okay with him and your daughter?" And all she looked at me and she just went, "No."
People in chat are quiet.
Yes, I noticed.
Guys, why are you so quiet? Let us know.
Maybe
your
they're just
name.
listening.
Oh, they're just listening. Yes, but let's hear you. Got any questions? Period.
Yeah, I can't see the chat. My system won't do it because my internet is not happy. But if you got any questions, say it. And Steve, you're gonna have to say it back because
Yeah. No,
StreamYard will not do the chat for me. I am so sorry, guys.
kind
I
of weird.
apologize.
Yeah. I will relay it. Anybody else?
Because yeah, my internet is so unhappy today. But yeah, the fact that he just did creepy shit, and pardon my language, but you know how people move away from their parents because they have a bad relationship with their parents? I adored my parents. I left home early to run away from my house. Like my brother and I left home early to get away from our house. You know, like most people don't leave their home to get away from their house. Yeah, I love my parents, but the house was just not okay.
Steve Rochelle was just.
My brother asked me if I wanted to go back to say goodbye to the house, and I said absolutely not.
No, I've had enough time in that place. Personal experience in a particular place, in a particular location, Steve.
Like I missed my parents. My parents made my home my home.
Mm-hmm.
But when I left, I left.
Changes, right? I mean, when you leave, it changes. Ultimately,
like most people have an attachment to a house, and I had an attachment to my neighborhood, but not really the house. It was my parents that were in the house. It was the people in the house for me. It was never the house for me. I was
exactly.
I could never get. It was very weird because, like I said, I had no problems with my family. It was the house. My brother was the same way. He didn't miss the house at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I had more of an attachment to my grandma's house. Like when my grandfather died and they had to sell the house, I was sad about that house, and I went back to say goodbye to that house, but I never went to my own.
That'd be crazy.
Because their house had a good vibe to it. You felt good going there. But my house never had that vibe. Never. It was just you go and you get a bad feeling in your chest, and it was like, and you felt watched, and it was just like you felt the resentment in the house.
Yeah.
It was just not okay. It was like the house was angry. But it wasn't the house. You knew it wasn't the house. You knew it was who was in the house.
Not good, that was, Joe.
Joe, have you ever had something weird happen?
When I think back, when I was younger, I did. I always used to think that was something like what Rochelle's just been saying. When we lived in
when I see the videos like that with the guy showing all the shit blowing all over the place, I'm like, mate, I grew up in a house that was weird. That does not happen. Like that's called I crashed into my dresser and it fell over, right? Mm-hmm. That's me being a clumsy girl. That's like,
Well, what happened with me, Steve?
Because when he flicked my light, I was like, really? I've seen this before. I know you. I know you. I feel you. Get out of my house.
Go ahead, Joe.
What happened to me?
Like, I know your shit. Get out.
I was about 17 to get me, and I had to go to temporary accommodation after leaving home to get my first house, flat.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened in this place, my dad came and had my sister's son come and stay the first night because, I was a bit wary of this place. They're all pulled down now, these flats. So I lived on the ground floor and we're all going to sleep that night and we heard a noise. And we're looking around, we looked all over this flat. We couldn't find out where the noise come from. So anyway, when we did get to sleep, about 3 o'clock in the morning, my dad jumped up and says, right, you little bastards, what you've done. And it felt like, he says, somebody was poking him in the back and like, as though it was somebody, like a finger, poking him in the back and woke him up. And we looked out of the house and the doors were locked, the windows were locked, there was nobody else there. So anyway, we nodded off again. And the next thing I knew, the bloody quilt just flew off in bed. You know what I mean? And I thought, what's going on here? And I had to go and stay at somebody else's flat. And I tell the caretaker of the block of flats, I says, I can't stay in there, mate. I says, has anything ever happened in there? He says, well, I'm just new here. He says, not that I know of. But I definitely think there's something wrong with that place. Like, things like that don't just happen for now. But 6 months later, after I had moved out there and got my first flat, then blocks of flats were demolished. And they were in a place called Pitt Street.
Yeah.
And never ever did find out anything. I checked and that, but couldn't find out. I checked the history, like Steve, that's what you normally do, when you live in a place that's bad things. I always like to check the history about the land, the blocks of flats, to see if anybody's passed away in there or things like that. There was nothing listed. So, I don't know. So first I thought it was my sister's son playing pranks on me, but no, it wasn't. He was stone out no.
Crazy.
These things
I'm
happen.
saying it's subtle. It's subtle. It's subtle.
But when it was my dad, because he was a pensioner, he had retired and that, and he fell asleep in the chair. He didn't go to bed. He actually sat on, like an easy chair. And he was sitting there and he fell asleep in there. And that was what woke him up. It felt like somebody poking him in the back. Well, now it's an easy chair, so how can your finger go through a chair? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking there.
Mm-hmm.
My dad says my dad says there's something wrong in you.
So what do you think? What are your thoughts overall?
Well, it's got to have been a spirit, hasn't it? It's got to have been somebody or a spirit or something. Whether it was good or bad, because at first when I walked in, I had a cold shiver go. You know, now you get the shivers all the way down your body.
Yeah.
Like a tremble.
Mm-hmm.
I did get that when I very first walked into the flat with the keys. But I thought now of it. And one night, what happened to my dad and that, and my sister's son, I never went back. I tell the council, I says, there's no way I'm staying in there. I tell the caretaker and the council, and I went to the council office that next day. They say, what's wrong? And I tell them. They say, oh, you've probably just been dreaming, man. I says, I was dreaming, but it woke me dad up. And then they change the subject straight away.
That's crazy.
Weird, man.
Yeah, when stuff like that happens.
Out there, but it's proven it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. When shit like that happens, it simply doesn't matter what others think. I mean, you experienced it. You're trying to come to terms as to what happened, what you experienced, and so on and so on. You're always going to have people in you're saying, well, it's probably this, probably that, but it doesn't make sense to the experience that you had. So I mean, yeah, it's really tough to say.
You see, the thing is, right? Because people probably say, oh, it might have been because of the beer.
Yeah.
Well, I only had 2 cans, but my dad didn't drink. He was teetotal. You know what I mean? So he loved his cups of tea.
Yeah.
That was it. So I can't explain how that happened to him. And then my sister's son with a quilt.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what happened there. Like, it's weird. It's one of them things I haven't got no answer to, Steve.
Yeah, that's crazy. On that note, I'm going to have to end this.
No problem.
But Rochelle, thank you for coming up, and Joe, and of course Frank and Dave, and
my pleasure.
Everybody else.
Definitely a pleasure.
Thanks for popping on up and stopping in chat. And
Super fun.
yeah, our official season starts September 8th, Sunday,
Great.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the official date of season 17. So, guys, I'm sure we'll pop up before then, but if we don't, take care. Thank you for popping in. Rochelle, take care. Joe, take care. See everybody.
Same to you, Steve.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
Stay safe.
Thank
and take
you.
care.
Bye, Joe. Bye, Steve.
Everybody in chat, all be safe. Stay
Love
safe.
you so much.